Hello everyone, this is Father of the Ever-Chosen, back with the Vlad von Karstein campaign. And we're going to just jump in here with an intern. Last time we played, we had officially taken Sterling out of the game, and we had made peace with the dwarves, extracting a heavy toll in gold from them. And right now we have been kind of just trying to get the public order under control throughout our undead empire. And like we had said last time, I think the next step is to start raiding into the Golden Order's territory and then curl up through Wissenland and then up into Altdorf. And then at that point we will control pretty much everything save for Telebecklin south of the River Reich. And then we'll focus on hopefully Kemmler still being alive, and maybe even the Red Duke, and trying to confederate so we have some more legendary lords available to us besides just Vlad and Isabella. So we're moving Malsar back here into Abraham. Again, trying to get the public order under control. Isabella's going to stay here. Probably, let's see if I can move her out of the city. Yeah, we'll move her out of the city and move her as far over as we can, just so we can get a look at, Grunberg and Kemperbad. So it looks like the Empire has Gotrek and Felix right now. So probably pretty good that we're not attacking right now. This army's got a lot of ranged, so it probably wouldn't do to attack right now. They're not mad enough where they're going to attack us. And then we've got Vlad back here. Like I had said last time, I don't know if the Moot's truly worth it to take right now. Perhaps. Since we're not at war, we will colonize the Moot, just so we get a little more money coming in. And we will go with growth and vampiric corruption. And taking a look at diplomacy real quick. Who has the worst? Zufbar's attitude with us, but we do not have any active wars. So we should be able to spend a few turns quickly going through end turns and try to get the public order under control and get our money situation a little better.
What dost thou wish to discuss with thine true father?
Alright. They want a defensive alliance. I'm really trying not to make any alliances with Mannfred so that we can confederate with him later. Just keeping that trade agreement with him will more than likely keep him from attacking me and our good relations. So like I was saying, I think Malsar, we're going to try to build up his army and he will start raiding down here. And as I had said, I think Abraham's going to be kind of the hub for our building and deployment of armies. Right now, I think I'll just hold off, keep the money. If I move Vlad out of the Moot, we're going to have to keep Vlad here in the Moot for a few turns. And we'll just scout a little bit more around. As long as she's in the province, vampiric corruption should be spreading and public order should be growing. Nuln is not too built up, but I still think it'll be smarter to attack from the south and kind of roll up. And we'll go through another end turn here. So hopefully some of you caught the first episode of the quick battles for the month of April, where I was playing as the Empire. I was able to walk away with 2 victories, which was pretty satisfying. Um, like I say in those videos, I'm not the biggest multiplayer gamer, but I think getting the most out of my money for the game is pretty important. So I will be attempting to improve my skills over the next years to come, so that when the next Total War games come out, or when Warhammer 3 comes out, I'm able to use it to the fullest. We'll build a gibbet for a little more money in public order. And back here in Schwarzhofen, I think we'll be able to do the same next turn. That'll help with the public order, and just a tiny bit, the 100 additional dark magic per turn, and then eventually it bumps up to 3. I know it, or up to 2. I know it's not a whole lot, but you sprinkle those throughout your empire, and you'll get a pretty steady stream of income. We'll go one more end turn, and maybe switch Malsar and Vlad, and have Vlad kind of raid.
I wish to discuss with thine true father.
See, and as my money's building, my strength rank is getting higher and higher, and Vlad's not doing, or Mannfred's not doing too much. So join Confederation, and that's going to just drastically change everything about this campaign. Having access to another legendary lord, this whole new avenue, and a whole bunch more money. No, we'd like to keep, well, -5 relations with Mousillon. Yeah, so I mean now we're really cooking. We'll pull Mannfred back. He does not need to be all the way up there. We'll have to take Waldenhof here. And now let's go through and put these up. So we'll do tax rate here. And then in Castle Dragonhof, let's see if there's anything we should get rid of. Ancient Armory's good there. Gallows good there. The Copse is okay there. Oh, sweet. That'll be nice, making that additional 1,000. I think I can probably get rid of this Ancient Armory. And in Tempelhof, I think we'll keep everything the way that it is. At least for now. So I don't have to worry about this side of the Empire. Castle Dragonhof, for us, will have the von Karstein Court Hall, which is going to be a pretty important building to build up to. Still have to upgrade the city twice. And then my next target, I believe, will be pulling Mannfred back down here. He's got a pretty decent army. He's still got his starting Vargolf. He's got some good Black Knights. And he's not a very high level, which may sound like a bad thing, but it means that I'm going to be able to map out how his skill points are distributed. And he's got Spirit Leech maxed out, which I probably would have done anyway. Going to war with Ostermark, probably would have done that anyway. Quickly take, these provinces. We've got Mordheim as well. And then, obviously, with Confederating, we got some public order penalties, but should just be able to stick Isabel here. we are going to have to capture Essen and win 2 battles against the Empire. So capturing Essen will be important. They did build the City Watch here, so their garrison's pretty decent. Let's see if I move him out of the moot. Minus 14, way too heavy of a penalty. So I think it might be another end turn here. Still, Abraham's going to be a pretty good staging ground. And back here, you know, I'll probably pull Vlad over, have him take Waldenhof, and then move up and have Vlad and Mannfred. You know, I know it's probably better to keep... Yeah, might be better to keep Isabella and Vlad together in maybe going north, and keep Mannfred and Malsar kind of in this southeast section. Since Vlad and Isabella get that, I think it's a +4 bonus to attack and defense. So we'll go with another end turn. I know this is a lot of end turns, but you know, it's setting up, you know, finishing off the Empire in the south and starting to get some of their, you know, quest battle items, not just from the mod that I have installed. Oh, I don't really use hero actions, so it doesn't really matter to me right this second. So down here in Drakenhof, I still have to upgrade one more time before we can get any of the good buildings that produce the high tier units. We'll probably just hold off then here. And public order -8 for 3 more turns. We will... What is the best course of action then? Let's see if we have any heroes around. Yep, there's a hero right here. Move him over to support Vlad.
Your wish, master.
And we'll have this guy go support Malsar. And that's it. Just those two. So we'll get unnatural strength researched here in just a moment. I think I will leave. I don't know. Probably again just go through some end turns here real quick. Build up a little more money. And once this public order, you know, I think we'll only have 2 more turns now. So I feel a little more comfortable leaving the provinces now. Pillar of Order. See, and I have this mod, the extended traits. I do like, you know, keeping him in a low public order province. You know, has slowly garnered him more and more things. You know, that -10% construction time, the 6 tax rate, you know, makes him, you know, just excellent to keep in some cities. But obviously, you got to balance still. So let's upgrade Flensburg so we can upgrade to the Binding Circle. Abraham's already upgrading. We'll build a barrow and Grenstadt. And now Mannfred's back here. Let's have him spend maybe a turn here in Eschen just to recoup. And then we'll probably hit Waldenhof so that we have this full province so we can issue a commandment. And then we'll move on to taking Essen. And I will move Vlad that way. The minus 11 for the moot. That minus 8 is going to go away here pretty soon. We've got positive public order here. Not terribly worried. And let's grab a Black Knight. I'm going to move that guy that way. That guy that way. And to start researching, you know, getting that minus 100 upkeep for Skeletal Warriors and Skeletal Spearmen, I think will be the next best thing to get. Low tier skeletons in campaign, you know, especially Vlad's campaign where you're getting that constant stream, even if you're not fighting, of experience. Getting, you know, triple gold chevron skeletons are, you know, easily able to hold their own, plus having Invocation of Nehek. And we will have both Vlad and Mannfred hit Waldenhof. They're allied with Ostlin. Ostlin's, you know, nowhere nearby. They're not coming over to help them. It says that the balance of power is not in my favor, but I don't really see how anything's going to, how they're going to take, I've got 3 legendary lords. It definitely gives me the leg up. Bunch of spearmen with no shields and just regular archers. Should be able to hit the archers with the cavalry and have the Vargolf just punch through. And we'll just have them line up. Don't really need too many tactics this time around. Should be able to just plow right on the head. Have Melissa Retep move over that way. Her being in the air. Still gonna have to watch out, make sure she doesn't get shot, but should be relatively okay. Oh, and as soon as we can, we'll drop a purple sun in there. I do miss the days where you could just blob your infantry and your cavalry and everything in there and have your Invocation of the Heck affect everybody. They've definitely hit it with the nerf stick enough times where you really have to start thinking. Don't fly up, just purple sun.
We are immortal.
And it's gonna go up, so she should be able to dive down in, hit him with the Spirit Leech. And we'll have our bats dive on in. Oh, and Mannfred, hit those Black Knights. Vlad, hit those Black Knights. And just charge everybody in. Have them pick targets. Should be alright. Pull these Black Knights out. Maybe I can keep them alive. be nice to be able to. Let's hit some of these recharge. Looks like they've stabilized. Have these Blood Knights come in and take out the archers. And this battle's pretty much over now. You can't overcast. Just get that overcast in there. As soon as they're done healing, I'll end the battle. And we're good. Decisive victory. Got that province locked down now. 93 kills, 87 kills. Yeah. You know, a 2,752 man army walking around is going to be pretty hard to beat. So we'll issue a commandment. Occupy the settlement. Alright. So Waldenhof. We'll just leave it like that. We'll do tax rate.
Of light.
We'll grab Impassioned, just so when she dives into combat, she doesn't instantly fall over dead. Oh, this pendant. And the hunger. So, we'll hit Essen next, then Nagenhof, and then we'll go up. And we might have to start a war against Talabeclan. Put her up on her Hellsteed. Lore Master of Vampires.
Do you need fresh truth? Find me, child.
So now that this is upgraded, we'll drop the Defiled Cairn there. And move this guy into Vlad's army. And another in turn. So we should mop up here. Just these last two provinces. And we'll probably end up going to war against Talabeclan. We'll have Isabella come up and hit Krugenheim. And that should give them enough pause. Apparently the Empire and Talabeclan are at war, so that should make this significantly easier. We'll have Vlad siege Essen, and we'll have Mannfred just get this general out of the area. I'm just going to auto-resolve. I don't feel like fighting a battle against a single person. And Invocation. And Curse of Undeath. And over here in Nagenhof, I may be able to send Mannfred over and just hit Nagenhof real quick, and then double back onto Essen. Nobody else seems to be really encroaching. I think Malsar's fine. Grab another skeletal warrior and some crypt ghouls. Oh, if we are attacked, the settlement garrison is going to be the problem. It's got so many ranged options. But hopefully they just leave us alone and I'm able to just siege them for a few turns. If not, I'll retreat because I don't think I can win that battle. And there's no reason to lose Vlad for a few turns just to try. Yeah, I'm going to retreat. And apparently Karakaren has declared war on us. So I've lost Dredgestad. Which is no good. Raise the dead cost. And this is mainly dwarf warriors. They've got a Thane and a Lord. They don't have any ranged options, but I know that this army won't stand a chance against them. Not that Isabella would fare much better. We'll just keep it like that for now.
I'll ignore that.
Again, just siege us and just to lock them from being able to support this guy. Oh. I'm going to just auto-resolve this. Dominate the captives. We'll go with another point in invocation and get life leeching. And we'll just move Mannfred a little closer so that when Vlad probably has to retreat yet again, he doesn't, Wolfram Herdwig doesn't just get a free shot on him. We're doing good down here. This army is what I'm worried about now. It's Isabella. We'll grab some cavalry for Isabella and start moving. We'll probably move Isabella south. Kind of hit the dwarves a little bit. Said rebellion imminent. In Mordheim, if I lose Mordheim, I'm not losing that much money. So I'm not too worried. And it looks like Essen's going to be a pretty tough nut to crack. Let's see. Between all of them, could I win? Possibly. Why don't we try? Mannfred and Vlad should come in on the same side of the battle map. That's really going to be the deciding factor. If Mannfred came in on this side, unless the army divided itself, which it typically does because the AI doesn't like to just bull rush one army. So I'll probably deploy right over here. Mannfred will come in, and Vlad should be able to take out this first supporting army, wherever this army ended up setting up, and then my two armies will conjoin to take on these two. Hopefully, this is the weaker army and isn't the halberdiers and stuff. But then again, it may be better because I can quickly maybe tear a route off all the ranged units. So we'll quickly set out for deployment here. And like I said, you know, the past few times, I'm really trying not to pause during the battle. Because if you pause all the time, obviously if you're just playing by yourself, but I don't think it's as entertaining to watch me pause the game 16 times. Alright. We'll start the battle. Some people may think this is a little bit cheesy, and it kind of is, but I do want to win and not lose my entire army. And it does look like it is the weaker army. So hopefully, you know, quash them with minimal losses. And then I can, you know, position everybody accordingly. Let's grab our skeletons, set them up in a thin line. Shouldn't really have to focus over here too much. They should rout off. And we'll grab all of our cavalry. Put them on this flank. Grab this Vargolf. Put him back here. And then grab Vlad's army. Extend it a little more here. And the good thing is that the supporting army coming in has the artillery. So I should be able to use my flyers and quickly go take out the artillery so the mortars aren't able to just decimate my army. I'll grab Vlad. Put him over here with Mannfred. Move Melissa. Move them off to the side there. I doubt I'll be able to snag these outriders, but let's grab these guys and move them back. Have them support the main army. Alright. So we'll move our cavalry off to this side. No reason to keep them on that side. And roll the rest of the infantry that way. Oh, let's have the Grave Guard go that way. Move the lords this way.
All shall bow before me.
Hopefully we can use our cavalry to run down some of these units. Oh, Mannfred. Keep these Graveguard alive. And pull these guys back a little more. Well, the bats were able to easily take out what I needed them to. Have them charge straight in there. Move Melissa this way. And we can commit Vlad pretty much straight away. Vlad should be more than fine to just traipse around in that battlefield with minimal risk to himself.
I hunger.
Pull these Black Knights out. We can move Vlad in there.
Attack!
drop a nice fat purple son of Zeus there.
Curse of undeath.
And that's going to give... That may be the difference between victory and defeat. And it often is. You know, magic in this game is the great equalizer. You know, I have no idea how many people that Purple Sun killed right now. And I mean, I will find out, but...
Hungry for blood.
Vampire.
Empower me.
And the Power Stone. Yeah, that'll be some nice power recharge rate. Unfortunately, there's lots of spears. And if you watch my... if you watch my multiplayer battles, you will know that my micro is god-awful. It is definitely the one thing that I need to work on
Breathers.
more than anything. And it's the one thing that, you know, may lose me these Blood Knights, which is not obviously at all what I want to have happen. But I'm not sure that I'm really going to have too much of a choice. If I can pull a handful of them out, should be okay. But I don't know. I've got 12 of them. And they have enough leadership where they are, you know, considered stabilized. Without my my lords, I definitely would not be, you know, doing as well as I am in the battle. Not that I think that I'm doing overly well.
Victory is mine.
I pretty much lost all the cavalry that I had. Well, luckily, turning that way, I was able to spot some more units that I had. Should have had them in the fight a long while ago, but you know, better late than never. Magical Animus.
For Sylvania.
At once.
Alright. Yeah, the range, their ranged is definitely what's killing me the quickest.
We are immortal. I'm in your throne.
Where's Melissa?
Swiftly.
I am going to drop a Purple Sun basically right on top of my own guys. No reason not to. I've only got lords in there. They'll be fine.
Your time has come. Die, mortals, die. At
And
once.
there we go.
Swiftly.
That right there
I
again.
need blood.
You know, I think she was at 100 and change kills. And now she's at 300, basically. Oh, pull the Vargolf out. Hopefully.
No one can stop.
I don't know how Vlad is not just tearing through these guys.
These lands are mine.
Grab a little more power recharge rate. I knew this battle was going to be a challenge, if there was any chance of winning it.
To war.
Which there still should be. But, you know, as soon as these ranged units run out of ammunition, then I should be fine. But until that point, it's going to be a fight for every inch. You know, Vlad must be getting shot. because he's losing way more health than he should be if he's just fighting regular swordsmen. Oh, I really don't want to lose Melissa, but it looks like
We are the new order.
her number may be up,
Rules the night. At once.
which will be most unfortunate. She's a very powerful caster, and basically the only reason that I will win this. Nope, I'm able to pull her out, and she's stable enough that she's not crumbling. Magical Animus. Keep some people alive a little bit longer. Oh, Tormentor Sword. You know, the Tormentor Sword should be doing a lot more. You know, locking them down.
The living will join us. Lead
Have her
them.
charge in there real quick. Split these guys up. Hopefully, that'll keep them alive. You know, Vlad and Mannfred probably can tank a lot of this out. The problem is that they still have way too much in the way of ammunition.
Noble of the night.
And I'm gonna have to commit some more troops that I really don't want to have to.
Address me as master. I am busy. You dare? Victory is mine.
Power recharge.
Witness true power.
We surpass Nagash. I drink their blood.
For blood king.
Pop Arcane Conduit.
Blood magic.
Bring death.
Now the problem is that my lords are just not close enough together where I could get them all with
This world
a an invocation.
end them.
Vampire. Swiftly. At once.
Kneel before your master. I ask.
Swiftly.
With haste.
These Blood Knights pretty much toast.
At once. Swiftly.
Lord of the dead.
Vampire.
I am busy.
I need one more
It is
magic.
done.
My fangs grow sharp.
And she's out.
Hungry for blood.
And Vlad and Mannfred are down. Yeah, the ranged was what, you know, won it for them. These halberdiers, you know, 184 kills. They probably were punching at, you know, skeletons. You know, you can see where, you know, 152, 158, 198, you know, everything was getting good kills. You know, I don't count on zombies to get, you know, good kills or anything, but, you know, 332 kills on Melissa, 196 on these Blood Knights. You know, Mannfred's army didn't do as well, but, you know, you look, they lost 500, you know, 500 plus more. What would that be? 519 more than I did. No, 529 more than I did. And they deployed, you know, almost 2,000 more. They lost their lord, this captain. This lord's the only one that didn't, but these all routed off the battlefield, you know. So it must have just been the fact that most of these units are shielded. You know, Vlad didn't cast any magic. He killed personally 136 people. But luckily, a good chunk of, Mannfred survived. It looked like Melissa Retep survived. None of the heroes actually ended up dying in that battle. So ultimately, what that amounts to, and even in the lore, you read, when Vlad was invading the Empire, he would lose large chunks of his army, but every one of your people that died, is another new soldier for his army. And I believe it might have been, I believe it was Vlad, and it could have been Mannfred, but they invaded the Empire in the winter, so then all these villages are sending their citizenry out, and they're dying, in droves in the snow. And as the vampire army is coming through, they just rise them up as skeletal warriors or zombies, because they don't suffer the attrition that a regular army would. We'll grab Undeath Resurgence and I guess Beguile so that his melee defense is a little higher. We'll grab Foe Seeker and Blade Shield. And Essen's army is definitely depleted right now, and it would be nice to be able to just turn right around and attack, but it's just not in the cards to do so. Well, we'll just have everybody park right here, and we'll have Vlad snag up a big army. It may just be inexperienced, skeletal warriors, but that's good enough. And I think, let's see, the character and military presence amounts to 9. So if I pull, that goes to 6. If I pull her out of the province, it goes to 0. So that should be fine. Isabella and Malsar next turn will hit Grenstadt. And since we did so many end turns, we'll go maybe 1 or 2 more turns. That battle at Essen ultimately was a defeat, but it cost them, greatly. The only thing that I don't understand is why an army didn't pop up. Oh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've got a lot of ranged options still. The only good thing is that you can, I believe, you should be able to heal your lords pre-battle. So I should be able to group Mannfred and Vlad up and heal them. And if they take the majority of the fight, if I can take out the crossbow. But, of course, they were basically right next to each other, but they're going to start on opposite sides of, the battle map. So we're just going to probably have to rush each side. I'll try to deploy with, this army, which is going to be able to take a lot more punishment, closer to. But we will grab these 3, put them right next to each other, and then the rest of this army will move south. We'll start healing. And hopefully that will, you know, be able to affect, you know, enough where this battle doesn't end up just being another slaughter. Really can't afford to have them be taking pot shots right now. This army go deploy back there. Move these bats back in. Oh, and we'll grab the power stone. That'll start generating a little more. Let's grab all 4 of these heroes and place them right there. Those heroes, like I said, they will make or break this. Alright. So let's grab Vargulfs, the bats. And we'll grab Vlad again. Heal everybody yet again. Surround those halberdiers. And hopefully they've lost enough. You know, it looks like these crossbowmen have lost quite a bit. You know, they've just been able to tie them down long enough where, you know, my heroes now look far better than they did. We'll group up my knights. And hopefully, you know, if I can get a free charge off on any of these guys without taking too many shots, I will do, you know, I'll gladly take it. It says I've got 76 power reserve.
The Von Carstein's march.
You know, hopefully able to just pop them in the back real quick. Not take too many losses. But inevitably I'm going to take more than I want. Move everybody back to here. Move this army to there. Have Vlad hit them one more time. Hopefully I can kind of pick off some of the weaker units.
What? I hunger. Vampire. Swiftly.
Looks like these pistoliers have used way more ammo than they probably wanted to.
With haste!
I'm in your thrall.
All shall perish!
We'll probably just have to commit at this point. We'll do that. And we'll start moving Vlad up. Hit that Archlector. Alright.
Victory is
These these guys pull out. Melissa can stay over there for a little bit. Should be alright. Hit that on the General of the Empire. Hit the General of the Empire with Spirit Leech.
Witness true power.
Hopefully if that hits the Lords. Keeping them up is the most important thing. Got 42 power still to go. Really need to have this cavalry keep moving. They should leave the battlefield. If I can have her hit there. Vlad and Mannfred and this White King in the middle. I mean, they're all so close to each other. They've got, you know, they've got each other's back. You know, you got Mannfred, this guy, and then there's Vlad. You know, Vlad and Mannfred fighting back to back would be a pretty good sight. You know, though, you know, Mannfred's the one who ultimately plots to have Vlad killed. I don't think there was malice necessarily behind it. I think it was more just, you know, the fact that there needed to be a power play, and well, that was his option.
Let's have ya!
Get the cavalry against, you know, chasing down these crossbowmen, and pull the cavalry back. And Purple Son of Zerus, of course, it decided it didn't want to go the way that would have been beneficial,
At once! Swiftly!
but it was able to wipe out, you know, 55, which is enough.
Bleed them!
Vlad. And hopefully, you know, just keeping these guys in there is enough.
Your desire?
Probably pull these guys out real quick.
For Isabella!
Yeah, for Isabella.
Yes.
Vlad von Carstein. All life must end.
Alright. We'll Spirit Leech him. You know, it may be a risky use of, you know, what limited magics I have left, but to ensure that he stays off the battlefield, I do think that it is entirely worth it. The Blood Knights are really the only things that I'm going to be upset about losing. If I do end up losing them, which I'm going to.
Find me if you dare!
Oh, come on.
At once!
These crossbows just have so much ammunition.
At once!
And they're all at their healing caps in here. So they're not.
Victory is mine.
Cross the bridge!
Alright, we'll fast forward. My goodness. Let's move her back a little farther, I guess. Let's group up these guys. Since they're all in there, we'll turn it back down. Oh, we'll save that hex.
Hearken to my will.
Increase the power recharge rate.
Join us!
If I can keep her out of the fighting,
Serve me. Suffer death.
you know, this Archlector is gonna suffer
Anhel's gods
what seems to be very minimal damage.
This world is mine.
Keep those guys back.
The world is mine.
Vampire! End them!
If Melissa can get some pot shots in here, charging down these crossbowmen that are out of position.
Empower
I
me.
will gladly take it.
No mercy.
Your whim.
Yes?
Blood frenzy.
Hopefully,
All life
and she
must
routs them
end.
off.
Vlad,
Where are you going, Vlad?
all shall perish. Mortals quail.
Vampire. Bleed them.
Attend me. Thy cure is death. Bow before me.
Where are you going, Vlad?
Kill. Hearken to my will.
Sometimes they're a little silly.
Noble of the night. At once. Swiftly.
No one can stop me. Life ends.
Oh, all right. That'll keep
By Van Hell.
people in,
Empower me.
people defensive enough.
I am busy. I serve me.
We'll grab Tormentor Sword, so basically they're doing no damage.
Vampire.
Melissa,
Trust me as master. I remain
this Archlector needs to go down. Alright, these guys are shattered.
Fangs gross.
These guys are shattered. So really, this crossbow, or no, this archer, and these Free Company militia are the most dangerous things. They have the highest amount of ammunition left.
the mortals.
Swiftly. At once.
Nope.
Swiftly. I thirst.
Yeah,
Sylvania rules the night. At once.
I think this one will ultimately go in my favor.
We surpass Nagash.
If I lose Sigwald, I won't be happy. But out of anybody here, if I lose him, I won't be terribly heartbroken.
Swiftly.
Attack! I will rule all.
I think that hopefully will stabilize him enough.
At once.
I don't have
Swiftly.
any magic left.
Blood podcast.
Alright, Tormentor Sword. Where did that Archlector go?
I'm in your thrall. Von Carsteins are the true empress.
Alright, we did lose Sigwald, but,
Bring death.
as I said, not too heartbroken about that.
Carsteins march.
Melissa would be the one that I would really not want to lose. And I think I'll ultimately end up being okay.
Shall be mine.
We are immortal.
These lands are mine.
Power recharge.
Attack! Vlad von Carstein.
What? For Isabella.
Oh, poop.
I hunger.
Yeah, at this point we're just trying to keep everybody that's on the battlefield
Your
alive
desire.
for just a little bit longer.
To war. We
All
are
right.
the new order.
Melissa, pull out.
Swiftly. At once.
Address me as
A few more seconds on their
Need blood.
cooldowns.
Time to kill. As inevitable as death.
Did you just stop pursuing for some reason? They must have routed.
Come. Swiftly.
Alright, pull Melissa out.
I serve me.
sure.
My cure is death.
Vlad hit them. Hit those archers with the Spirit Leech.
Witness true power.
I drink their blood.
Vlad von Karstein.
Army losses aren't going to trigger
Death and destruction.
the difficulty. Definitely plays against you.
True power. Vlad von Karstein. Victory is
Alright.
mine.
At once.
I can send Melissa to help Mannfred. Actually, I can hit those Free Company militia. That's probably
Blood magic.
the best thing I can do.
Wings.
Noble of the night.
Or at least kind of keep
All
everybody
life must end.
moving and thinking that. Alright.
Vlad von Karstein.
Just broken.
Living will join us.
Mannfred has caught up to these archers. He's surrounded, but ultimately he should be fine. I said charge.
Undeath the sentence.
Give her that little boost.
Bleed them.
Hopefully it's enough.
Victory is mine.
It's not.
I'm in your throne.
Master of the undead.
And now it's just Vlad.
Kill.
Fast forward. Alright. These from Free Company Militia are gone. Alright. Chase these archers down. And this will ultimately probably be a dumb defeat yet again, because they have ammunition just out the ass. And it just ends up being nigh impossible in the end. Valiant defeat. You know, they're you know, playing on a harder difficulty. It's fun because it presents a challenge, because on easy the AI are, you know, basically monkeys. But when you look at an army that's lost 1,031 or 38 people out of its, you know, very small army, you know, it was maybe 200 people were left. They didn't have a lord. You know, both of their lords not only had, you know, retreated, but they had died. Yeah, you know, they lost 1,039 out of their 1,500 people per person army. So, you know, it gets very hard to defend playing on a harder difficulty when it doesn't, you know, it doesn't make the AI play smarter. It just gives the AI massive leadership bonuses. I guess to me that doesn't seem like it's creating a challenge. It's, well, it is creating a challenge, but it's creating such an artificial challenge, seeing as I guess we'll take that guy. So, you know, the positive thing is that Melissa Retep didn't end up dying. Sigwald Richterlos apparently didn't die either. And the Blood Knights didn't die. So, what, you know, what ultimately ends up happening is just that I'm going to have to wait for Vlad and Mannfred to come back from being wounded. Which isn't fun. But it could have been a lot worse. They could have lost the Blood Knights. It could have lost Melissa Retep. Sigwald Richterlos is just kind of icing on the cake. But, you know, you look at this army, and what ended up winning it was just this back half. You know, these two archers these 2 crossbowmen and this free company militia. 20 ammunition, 24, 24, 22, 22. They definitely had an ample amount of volleys. So there's a nice batch of casualties up here. And of course I'm going to have to step a little closer for what ultimately ends up being a pretty, poor man's army, but it's a full 20 stack. So I'm not going to lose, what I still have. I was, pretty lucky to have that be right there. But I guess I think that'll cap it off. This is probably closer to a 50-minute episode. But it was a lot of fun, even though there were some, pretty challenging fights there. Hopefully, next time we play, I'll get Vlad and Mannfred back here in, 4 turns each. We'll hit Essen, we'll hit Nagenhof, and we'll wipe out, the men of Ostermark. But until next time, stay safe, stay inside. This is Father of the Ever-Chosen, signing off.